Hello, my name's Anita. You may know me from my Instagram and Facebook accounts where I'm Made by Anita. You might know me from my Christmas Eve wishes blanket. That started out as a blanket just for my grandchildren. It was never intended to be a pattern, but so many of you liked it and asked for the pattern that I made it into a crochet along, and I was unbelievably excited when Sirdar asked me if they could share it with their make-along group. I know that lots of you have enjoyed making it too. It's been downloaded nearly 20,000 times now. It's really great to see so many of you making it, and it pops up on social media all the time, which is really exciting for me. And that brings me to why I'm here talking to you today. I'm going to talk to you about my new collaboration with Sirdar, and that is the Sirdar Coronation Keepsake Blanket Crochet Along. I've always had a really keen interest in history and the royal family, so when Sirdar asked me to design a blanket to commemorate the coronation of King Charles, I was really excited, but a bit nervous as well, because it just seemed like a huge responsibility to come up with a design to celebrate something so important. A coronation is a once-in-a-lifetime event for most of us, so I wanted to come up with a design that celebrated not only the coronation itself, but some aspects of Charles's life as well. We'll come back to my inspiration later, but first I just want to give you a little bit of reassurance about the crochet along itself. It's suitable for all abilities. If you're new to crochet, or if you're an experienced crocheter, there's something for everybody there. We start nice and simply with granny squares, and the accompanying videos will give you all the information you need to be able to make them, even if you've never made one before. It will all be there to guide you through it. Moving on through the weeks, there'll be new stitches, new techniques to learn. They are very intuitive stitch patterns. So once you've learnt how to read the pattern, and again I will give you all of that information in the videos, it will be very easy to follow along and pick up new techniques and stitches as we go. The good news is there is no sewing together at the end. Everything is all crocheted together, so absolutely no sewing. And then towards the end of the crochet along, we'll be adding some fun appliques, and you'll have the option to do a little bit of personalisation at this point. I just want to talk you through some of the inspiration for my design. As I said, I wanted to include some aspects of Charles's life prior to the coronation, because he has had a very long life so far. So I've got my sketchbook here, and I'm just going to show you some of the things that I researched and some of the things that led me to my final design. So I wanted to include Charles's military career. It was a very large part of his early life, and he started in the Royal Air Force, but he also served in the Royal Navy. And he spent most of his military career at sea. So this part of the blanket represents the sea and the sky, so his time in the military. Moving on, I wanted to think about Charles the Conservationist. And Charles has actually been an active campaigner for climate change for over 5 decades now. He's very passionate about marine ecosystems, which is another link to the sea, and he's a champion of organic food production. His estate, the Duchy of Cornwall, produces organic food, and on a personal level he's also a very keen organic gardener, and his estate at Highgrove has a world-renowned organic garden. He's been painting for over 50 years. He's actually one of the UK's most successful living artists, and he paints exclusively in watercolours. So in the central panel of the blanket, I wanted to use my inspiration to create a watercolour effect, having 100 Shades of Bonus DK made that really easy. So selecting those blues and greens that I'll show you later made it really easy to achieve that lovely colour blend effect. And then moving on, we have the Coronation Regalia. So we have our lovely panel to represent the crown jewels. And then we have our border of purple and gilt with the leaf border. Lots of exciting stitches and new techniques to learn in there. You'll really enjoy that one. And then moving on, we have our motifs. We have the St Edward's crown, we have the orb and sceptre, and then right at the heart of the blanket, we have the Tudor rose. But here we also have the national emblems of the other nations, so you'll be able to personalise your blanket by choosing which ones you want to include. So now we're getting to the really exciting part. This is getting ready to join in. So first of all, you're going to need your yarn. So if you buy your yarn from a participating Sirdar stockist, you will also get your lovely label. The blanket is made of 13 balls of bonus DK in 9 different shades. I'm just going to show you the shades that I chose and why I chose them. I'm quite well known for my slightly less obvious colour choices. So while I wanted to include red, white and blue in the blanket because it's a royal occasion, I didn't want to necessarily make the obvious choice. So I've got my lovely ladybird red. I chose cream instead of white because I just think it's a softer colour choice and it works well with the other colours. And for my blue, I chose cornflower. Now, one of the reasons I chose this is it's slightly softer than an obvious choice for red, white and blue, but also because I wanted to create this graduated watercolour effect. So you can see the 3 blues together here that I chose. They blend really well together, but I wanted a nice bright blue that would work well for the jewels as well. So I think the cornflower, the sky marl and the frost blue sit really well together and achieve that effect. And it was the same with the greens. So I've got my 2 greens here. I've got my lime and my grass green, but depending which Sirdar stockist you buy your yarn from, you might have fern green instead, and that just, I think, works beautifully with the lime green and with the other blues. I'm just going to pop that there. Similarly, we have the lovely gilt yellow. This is my absolute favourite bonus colour at the moment. I think it works absolutely brilliantly with the rich purple that we're using for the border around the blanket that represents the Coronation Regalia. But depending on your Sirdar stockist, you might have this purple instead. This is the slightly brighter neon purple. Absolutely beautiful purple. I found it really hard to choose between the two. And whichever one you've got in your pack, I think it's going to work beautifully for that regalia inspired border around the blanket. So moving on, you are also going to need your crochet hooks, and I've got some here. I've got these lovely Sirdar soft grip hooks or bamboo hooks. These are great because they're hand painted and the design on the end shows you which size hook you've got, so that's really handy. So you will need a 4mm hook and a 3.5mm hook in whichever type you choose. And if you buy your yarn from a participating Sirdar stockist, you will also get your beautiful Coronation Keepsake label that I showed you earlier to sew onto your blanket that you can treasure forever. So that's it. That's everything you need to take part. All you need to do now is go to sirdar.com and sign up for the 6-week crochet along, and every week Sirdar will send you a link to the pattern and to my helpful, easy to follow video tutorials. One last thing, don't forget to join the Sirdar Make Along group on Facebook. Lots of help there, very helpful group. Always somebody who will help you if you've got any queries about the pattern or you're not sure. I'll be popping in from time to time as well, so really looking forward to seeing your progress. If that's given you a flavour of what we're doing and you're excited to take part, just pop along to your participating Sirdar stockist, get your yarn, and I look forward to seeing you in week 1.